Hey guys, it's Jeremy Osterberger at BIC Magazine. We're here at the Gulf Coast Industry Forum hosted by the Economic Alliance Houston Port Region. I'm here with Frank Vingerhoets. Frank is with Katoen Natie, and you're the president of Katoen Natie. So Frank, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Always excited to tell folks what we're all about in our logistics supply chain.
Well, let's get into it, Frank. So Katoen Natie moved into the area in 1997 here. Tell us a little bit overview of what the company provides to the region.
Okay, so we're a global service provider in logistics, and in 1997 we got here because of Union Carbide at the time. That became Dow, and we were working for them in Europe, and they had some challenges here, and they asked us if we could potentially help them out here in Houston. We bought a company at the time, a local company here, Interpack Terminals, and we renamed them obviously Katoen Natie. We had at that time a footprint of about 180,000 square foot. That was actually a property that we owned, and we were leasing some warehouses, in total about 1 million square foot. Right now here in the Houston area we have about 7.5 million square foot, and we employ about 600 people here just in the La Porte and the Baytown area.
So Frank, a few years ago you guys opened up, I think it was 2017, you opened up the Baytown warehouse expansion, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
What really sparked that growth?
Well, as you probably have heard, the shale gas boom, so the fracking that increased the supply of ethane, and ethane actually becomes ethylene, cracked, and then ethylene becomes polyethylene, which is plastics.
Right.
And those plastics, obviously, those volumes were huge, and the likes of ExxonMobil, Dow, Chevron, they all built plants to make more plastics, and those plastics had to be handled. And that's actually what we do. But we're talking really huge volumes, millions of tons a year that have been added.
Frank, you guys have acquired another 1,000 acres. What are the plans for that property?
Well, in Baytown, we did acquire the racetrack. People know that, and some people were sad about it. That closed down. We leased that property to them for a little while. Now they stopped their operations, so now our plans are to completely build it out, and we can build up to 22 million square foot. Obviously, that will not all be petrochemicals, but we're also starting in the consumer goods business, meaning imported containers will be unloaded, stored in the warehouse, and then we will actually bring that product to distribution centers of our customers.
Frank, let's get into kind of the last 3 to 5 years. So we had COVID, came out of COVID, still having some supply chain issues. What are we kind of seeing right now? What keeps you up at night?
Well, as I said before, I sleep pretty well at night, but obviously the labor force, getting the right people in place, have them trained properly. Those are things those are challenges, and that's why we formed our own Katoen Natie University, so where we actually work together with the University of Houston, U of H, to train our people and to make sure that we get the right workforce. So that's an issue. Rail expansion as such to provide service to the area in Baytown. That is something that is in the works, and that will need some improvement over time, I believe. And then obviously the port is making plenty of investments to make sure that they have capacity to grow with us. But we need to grow, and we want to grow here in the Houston area. The best supply chain from A to B is the shortest route, and the shortest route is through Houston, my point of view. So we put our money where our mouth is and put most of our eggs in the basket of Houston, and we'll continue to do that.
Makes sense, Frank. One last question. As we talk about digitalization across all sectors of our industry, what does sort of the future of supply chain and the future of Katoen Natie look like?
Well, yeah, digitalization is something that is everybody's working on. Cybersecurity is something that is really very important, because nothing functions anymore if there's no computers, right? So we're also working a lot on integration of our customers through APIs. It used to be EDI, now it's APIs, and those things obviously will help smooth out the supply chain in the future.
Frank, we really appreciate our time today. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
No problem. A pleasure to be here. Thank you.